Hello everyone, welcome to the first video lecture of Module 1 Vector Calculus of subject Advanced Calculus and Numerical Methods with the subject code 18MAT21. In this session, I am discussing about vector differentiation and then we moving on to the gradient of a scalar point function. Before taking the concept, let me give you a brief outline of Module 1 Vector Calculus, in which we have to take vector differentiation and vector integration. Under vector differentiation, scalar and vector field, and then three operation: gradient, curl and divergence, physical interpretation, followed by some of the problems. Under vector integration, we are taking line integral, surface integral, volume integral, and the interdependence of these three integrals with the help of Green's theorem, Gauss divergence theorem and Stokes theorem. The course outcome of this module 1. So after completion of this course, students are able to illustrate the applications of multivariate calculus to understand the solenoidal and rotational vectors and also exhibit the interdependence of line, surface and volume integrals. Before taking up the concepts of vector calculus, let me take the prerequisites for module 1, that is all the basic concepts related to vector algebra. So students, what is a vector? Basically, vector is a quantity having both magnitude and direction. Quantities like force, velocity, acceleration. Whereas scalar quantity is any quantity with magnitude only, that is number values with units. For example, if we say distance, we say 25 meters, age 16 years, whereas velocity 35 miles per second north, displacement 20 meters east. Both magnitude and direction will be mentioned. Now how the vector is represented? All of you know that vector A, now here I have a1i plus a2j plus a3k. Vector is represented with the help of a directed line segment with an arrow over it. And what about I, j, k are the unit vectors. So I have taken vector B, b1i plus b2j plus b3k. Similarly, vector C, c1i plus c2j plus c3k. Now, what is magnitude of A? How we write the magnitude? The magnitude of A is nothing but square root of a1 square plus a2 square plus a3 square. That's square root of sum of the squares of components. Now the unit vector in the direction of vector A, that is nothing but A cap, is vector A by magnitude of vector A. If suppose 2 points are given, how to write vector AB? Suppose A and B, 2 points are given. So how to write the vector AB? The vector AB is nothing but position vector of B minus position vector of A. Correct? So that means if suppose 2 points are given, suppose I have say 2, 1, 3. This is point A and point B, 1, 2, 3. So how we write vector AB now? So vector AB is nothing but vector AB. How we can write? That is x2 minus x1i, that is 1 minus 2 minus 1i, plus y2 minus y1, that is 2 minus 1, that is 1j, plus z2 minus z1. So here it is 3 minus 3, 0k. So for suppose the vector AB here, point A is 2, 1, 3 and point B is 1, 2, 3, then vector AB is minus I plus j plus 0k. Scalar product or dot product between two vectors A and B, where A vector is a1i plus a2j plus a3k, B b1i plus b2j plus b3k. Then A dot B is nothing but sum of the product of components a1 b1 plus a2 b2 plus a3 b3, or I can write magnitude of A into magnitude of B into cos theta, where theta is the angle between vector A and B. Now all of you know that A dot B is same as B dot A. If suppose A dot B is 0, so that means the angle between them is 90 degree. So I can say A is perpendicular to B, or that is A and B are orthogonal. Now if I want I dot I, so what is I dot I? I dot I is 1. I dot I is 1. J dot J, K dot K is 1 because angle between them is, it is coinciding, angle is 0. So what about I dot J? So unit vector perpendicular to each other, so that's why I dot J is 0. J dot K, K dot I, so answer is 0, correct? So next, now if I want to find angle between the two vectors or acute angle between two vectors, so I can make use of this result. So theta is equal to cos inverse of absolute value of A dot B by magnitude of A into magnitude of B. So we'll take only a numerical value. Now, so what is, if I want a component of A in the direction of any other vector B, that is A dot B cap, A dot B by magnitude of B. Next, vector product or cross product between two vectors A and B is A cross B is equal to, we obtain by using determinant with the first row ijk, second and third row the components of vector A and B, or it is equal to the magnitude of A into magnitude of B into sine theta into n cap. What is n cap? N cap is the unit vector perpendicular to both A and B. Now I cross I cross I. So what is I cross I? I cross I is nothing but 0 because angle between is 0. So sine 0. Similarly J cross J, K cross K is 0. Now I cross J is nothing but unit vector perpendicular to both I and J is K. So I cross J is K. Similarly J cross K is I, K cross I is J. Now, if I want to find this unit vector n cap, I can use this cross product to get the unit vector perpendicular to both vector A and B. So, we'll have a note. The first one, unit vector perpendicular to both vector A and B is n cap is equal to cross product between A and B divided by magnitude of cross product between A and B. So n cap is equal to A cross B by magnitude of A cross B. Similarly, if I want to find unit vector perpendicular to triangle ABC, so that is n cap is equal to, we have to first find vector AB, vector AC, two sides of vector triangle ABC whose vertices are given. So I can get n cap is equal to cross product between vector AB and vector AC divided by magnitude of cross product of AB and AC. The next one, if I want a sine of angle between vector A and B, then it is by using this result I can get sine theta is equal to magnitude of A cross B by magnitude of A into magnitude of B. Next we take scalar triple product and vector triple product. Scalar triple product or box product is a dot product of vector A by the cross product of vector B and C. A dot B cross C, which I can obtain by using the determinant of matrix formed by the components of these three vectors A and B, A, B and C, or which can be denoted using the rectangle box with vector A, vector B, vector C. If these three vectors permitted in same cyclic order, then the dot product remains the same. So what is the geometrical interpretation? Module of scalar triple product of vectors A, B and C is equal to the volume of the parallelepiped formed by these vectors. Now if suppose the box product between three vectors is 0, so that means the vectors A, B and C are coplanar. So if I want to show that three vectors are coplanar, so I have to get the box product as 0. Now 4 points, given 4 points A, B, C and D are said to be coplanar if and only if the box product between three vectors A, B, AC, AD becomes 0. So we have to get the sides of these 4 points by using the vector AB. As how we obtain vector AB, that is position vector of B minus position vector of A. Likewise, we have to find two more sides, vector AC, vector AD, get the box product. If that is 0, then 4 points are said to be coplanar. Next we take vector triple product, that is A cross B cross C, which we can write either by taking the cross product of B and C and the resultant, which we can now take the cross product of A and the resultant of B and C, cross product of B and C, or else it is nothing but in terms of dot products we can write, that is A dot C into vector B minus A dot B into vector C. But the vector triple product is not commutative, so that means A cross into B cross C is not same as A cross B into A cross C. So what is the vector triple product A cross B cross C? We can obtain that A dot C into vector B minus B dot C into vector A. So the geometrical meaning of this A cross B cross C is a vector that lies in the plane of B and C perpendicular to vector A. Vector A. Yes, in the background of all these concepts, let us now discuss vector calculus, which comprises of vector differentiation and vector integration. Now let me first introduce a scalar point function and then vector point function. So what is scalar point function? For every vector r, xi plus yj plus zk in a region, there exists a unique scalar f as a function of x, y, z. Then f is called a scalar point function. So for example, temperature at any instant, or the density of a body and potential due to gravitational force. So all these having only magnitude. For example, if I have f of x comma y comma z equal to xyz minus x square y, it is a scalar point function. So at some point 1 comma 1 comma 1, I can get the scalar point function value immediately. Likewise, at 1 comma minus 1 comma minus 1, the functional value is nothing but 2. So now next I can take a vector point function, that is vector point function can be defined as for every vector r, xi plus yj plus zk in a region, there exists a unique vector f as f1 I plus f2j plus f3k, where f1, f2, f3 each component is a function of x, y, z. Then f is called a vector point function, or I can say f is equal to f1i plus f2j plus f3k, where f1, f2 and f3 are scalar point function. So both magnitude and direction, having both magnitude and direction. For example, the velocity of a moving fluid at any instant, or I can say the gravitational intensity of force, all are the example for vector point function. So if I have a function is given, say xyi plus yz square j plus x square zk, I can get the function value at 1 comma minus 1 comma 1. The triads are given 1 minus 1 1. So the answer, I can get the vector f as a constant vector minus I minus j plus k. After taking scalar point function and vector point function, now let me introduce an operator called vector differential operator, with the note that differentiation of vector point function follows the same rules as those of ordinary calculus. Now what is vector differential operator? It is denoted by del and read as I dou by dou x plus j dou by dou y plus k dou by dou z, or I can write it as summation I dou by dou x. So this vector differential operator del can operate on scalar point function as well as vector point function. So we need to take now three operations, one on scalar point function and two on vector point function. Now let me take the del operator operating on a scalar point function. So that is called gradient of a scalar point function. So that means gradient of a scalar point function is nothing but a vector differential operator on a scalar field. For example, temperature. So how we can define grade f then? Suppose if f of x comma y comma z is a continuously differentiable scalar point function, then del on f is called gradient of f, or we can denote it as grade f, which is I dou by dou x plus j dou by dou y plus k dou by dou z operating on f, which we can differentiate f partially with respect to x, that is the component of I. Likewise, the component of j is partial derivative of f with respect to y, and component of k is partial derivative of f with respect to z. So therefore del f is nothing but dou f by dou xi plus dou f by dou yj plus dou f by dou zk. Now one thing we can observe, gradient is always on a scalar point function, but the resultant is a vector. So for example, if I have, say, f is given as x, y, z, function is scalar point function. If I want to find the gradient, then how to find? Operate del on this. So del means I dou by dou x plus j dou by dou y plus k dou by dou z. So I into dou f by dou x. So partially differentiate f with respect to x means treating y and z constant. So yz into derivative of x with respect to x, that is 1. So I have yz. Component of I is yz. Similarly, the component of j is dou f by dou y, so that gives xz. Partially differentiate f with respect to y, plus component of k, that is f, partially we have to differentiate with respect to z, that gives xy. So that means your gradient f is nothing but yzi plus xzj plus xyk. Correct? Now suppose the point, some points are given at, say, 1 comma 2 comma 1. So I have to substitute x as 1, y as 2, z as 1, so that I get gradient of f at this point, the given triad 1 2 1. So we'll get a constant vector. Correct? So now I just give an example to visualize this gradient of a scalar point function. So consider a ball. Suppose you have a ball in your hand, then now let me imagine at any point on the ball, imagine a vector acting perpendicular to the ball. Okay, so this is your gradient in 3D. Suppose if we imagine vectors acting on all points of the ball like spikes, so this is now gradient to the surface. The surface is ball here, so it is purely a normal to the surface. So therefore the gradient of a scalar point function, if f of x comma y comma z equal to 0 is a given surface, then del f, that is grade f, is vector normal to the surface. If we apply gradient function to a two-dimensional structure, then the gradients will be tangential to the surface. So for example, let us imagine, so consider that we are climbing a mountain. You are at a certain point on the mountain. Now you have to move in a certain direction to gain the lost altitude, that is, we are descending or ascending, moving forward or backward. Now suppose, that means this red line what we have observing here, so this is nothing but these vector line represent the gradient at your point of location in two-dimensional. So that means what, in 3D the gradient is nothing but vector normal to the surface, and in two-dimensional the gradient will be tangential to the surface. So we can now say, we can take a physical interpretation of gradient to the surface f. So what is the physical interpretation, student? If f of x comma y comma z equal to 0 is the given surface, then your gradient of f is nothing but normal to the surface. So if I want to find a unit vector normal to the surface, how I can find unit vector normal to the surface? So that is nothing but del f by magnitude of del f. So this is unit vector normal to the surface. I can get that unit vector normal to the given surface as del f by magnitude of del f. So that means gradient of f can be asked in other way, that is, find the vector normal to the surface f of x comma y comma z equal to 0. Correct? If suppose we have two surfaces are given, two surfaces are given. Now how to find the angle between two surfaces? How to find angle between two surfaces? As all of you know, angle between two curves means nothing but angle between their tangents. Similar way, angle between two surfaces is nothing but angle between their normals. So we have to find normal vector to the given two surfaces. Now all of you know that normal to the surface f equal to 0 is nothing but del f, and normal to the surface g equal to 0 is del g. So these two are the vector quantity. So once we know that two vectors are given, angle between these two vectors, I can use cos theta, that is a dot product. So I can use that theta is equal to cos inverse of numerical value of del f dot del g by magnitude of del f into magnitude of del g. So I can just take that result, angle between two surface, first obtain normal to the surface means get its gradient, then theta is equal to cos inverse of, theta is cos inverse of numerical value of dot product between these two gradients del f dot del g by product of magnitudes. So del f, magnitude of del f into magnitude of del g, correct. Now if suppose the dot product between two gradient, that is del f and del g, is 0, so that means they are orthogonal, intersecting at 90 degree. Angle between two surfaces is 90 degree. So if I get the dot product between two normals 0, then angle between two surfaces 90 degree. Now let me introduce the next concept, directional derivative. So what is the directional derivative of surface f along some direction a? The directional derivative of f along a is given by del f dot a cap, del f dot vector a by magnitude of a. So the directional derivative of f, the physical interpretation is nothing but rate at which the function f of x comma y comma z at a point in the direction a, that is it occurs at the direction of a cap. So or else you can just remember that directional derivative of f along a means it is component of vector normal to the surface, that is del f, in the direction of vector a. As all of you know, the component of vector a along vector b, how we find the component of vector a along b, that is a dot b cap. Similar way, the directional derivative means you can just remember that directional derivative of f along a means it is component of normal to the surface along a, that is normal to the surface is del f, along a means that's why it is del f dot a cap, del f dot a cap. Now if I ask in which direction the directional derivative of f is maximum, in which direction if that will be maximum. So I can say, since you know that this is nothing but del f dot a cap, correct, del f dot a cap, that is now dou f by dou a we can write, because rate at which f of x comma y comma z in the direction of a. So del f dot a cap, so I know that this is nothing but magnitude of del f into magnitude of a cap into cos theta, cos theta. So the dd of f is maximum means theta, cos takes the maximum value, that is at theta equal to 0, cos 0 is 1. So that means what, they are coinciding. So that means the vector a is nothing but coinciding with del f itself. So I can say now the maximum dd of a function f, the given surface f at a given point p is maximum along the normal to the surface itself. So you can just remember the maximum directional derivative along del f and its maximum value is magnitude of del f. So I can ask the gradient of a given function f of x comma y comma z in three ways. Either I can directly ask find the gradient of f of x comma y comma z, or the physical interpretation I can ask in way find the normal to the surface, vector normal to the surface, then also you have to find grade f, or else I can ask in which direction the directional derivative is maximum, in which direction the directional derivative is maximum for the given surface f. The directional derivative is maximum along its normal to the surface. Again you have to find gradient. So please remember student, so the three way one can ask the same concept, that is nothing but you have to find gradient itself. So now after taking the concept of gradient on a scalar point function, so let us take some problems on it. The first problem on the way, that is find the gradient of f equal to xy plus yz plus z square at The given point here is 1 2 1. So at this point I have to find the gradient of f. Now all of you know that the gradient of f means del f. So I have to find del f. The del is a vector differential operator, I dou by dou x plus j dou by dou y plus k dou by dou z. Operate on f. If I operate that on f, that means term by term I have to differentiate partially. So with respect to x, with respect to y, with respect to z. So I into dou f by dou x plus j into dou f by dou y plus k into dou f by dou z. So once we get the answer, then I have to write in terms of vector dou f by dou xi plus dou f by dou yj plus dou f by dou zk. So we have to rearrange. So while operating, first you write I, then operate one by one. So that is I into dou f by dou x plus j into dou f by dou y plus k into dou f by dou z. But once the answer is obtained, so rearrange, write in the vector format. So dou f by dou xi plus dou f by dou yj plus dou f by dou zk. So this is the method we follow. Now I can operate del for the given surface, or here it is the scalar point function, that is f equal to xy plus yz plus z square. So given f is xy plus yz plus z square. So carefully differentiate. So if I differentiate this f entire function, if I differentiate partially with respect to x, means treating y and z constant. So here derivative with respect to x means it is y into 1 plus 0 plus 0. It is free from x, so it's a constant. So derivative with respect to x is certainly 0. So I'll get only y. So the component of I is y plus dou f by dou y. So partially differentiate f with respect to y. So that gives here x plus z plus 0. So component of j is x plus z. Now finally component of k, here it is dou f by dou z. So partially differentiate with respect to z, treating x and y constant. So I can take 0 plus y plus 2z. So the component of k is y plus 2z. So what is your gradient, student? Now the gradient on f, that is del f, is equal to yi plus x plus zj plus y plus 2zk. Now substitute the values of x, y, z, that is x equal to 1, y equal to 2, z equal to 1. So at this point the gradient now is 2i plus 1 plus 1 2j plus 1 plus, sorry, y is what, 2, 2 plus 2 into 1 2, 2 plus 2 4. So the gradient f for the given problem f equal to xy plus yz plus z square at the point 1 comma 2 comma 1 is 2i plus 2j plus 4k. So it is evident that gradient on scalar, but the resultant is always a vector quantity. So the second problem, find the unit normal vector to the surface x cube plus y cube plus 3xyz equal to 3 at the point 1 comma 2 comma minus 1. Now what we need to find, student? We need to find here unit normal vector to the surface. The surface I can name it as f. So f is a function of x, y, z. The given surface f of x comma y comma z is x cube plus y cube plus 3xyz minus 3. Now I want to find unit normal vector to the surface. As all of you know now, the gradient f, the physical interpretation of grade f is nothing but normal vector to the surface. So I can write, since del f is normal to the surface f of x comma y comma z equal to 0, where f of x comma y comma z is x cube plus y cube plus 3xyz minus 3. Now I just try to find the gradient of this function, scalar point functions. Del f is equal to, I got the answer directly, I have written here, but how I got that? Just operating del on f. So what is del? Del is nothing but I dou by dou x plus j dou by dou y plus k dou by dou z. So partially differentiate f with respect to x. So that is the component of I. Similarly, if I take component of j, that is dou f by dou y, differentiate partially with respect to y, dou f by dou y. Similarly, the component of k is dou f by dou z. So using this definition of gradient f, I got all those three components partially differentiating with respect to x. I got 3x square plus 0 derivative with respect to x partially means treating y and z constant. 3x square plus 0 plus 3yz, this is anyhow constant. So the component is 3x square plus 3yzi plus dou f by dou y, differentiate f partially with respect to y this time. 0 plus 3y square plus 3xz. So 3y square plus 3xzj plus derivative of f with respect to z. So 0 plus 0, 3xy. So component of k is 3xy. Correct? Now I got normal to the surface. So what I want, student, now? Unit normal to the surface. Before that, I have to substitute the given point. So what is the given point? At the point 1, 2, minus 1. So I substitute that at the point 1, 2, minus 1. So the normal to the surface del f now becomes minus 3i plus 9j plus 6k. Just substitute the values, x as 1, y as 2, z as minus 1. So I'll get del f, that is the vector normal to the surface, is minus 3i plus 9j plus 6k. Since I want unit normal vector to the surface, so that is nothing but del f by magnitude of del f. So find the magnitude of this vector. So what is the magnitude of a vector? It is square root of sum of the squares of component. So that is square root of minus 3 the whole square, 9, plus 9 square is 81, plus 6 square is 36. So I got square root of 9 plus 81 plus 36 is 3 root 14. So that's why unit normal vector is now del f by magnitude of del f, that is 1 by 3 root 14. Here I have minus 3i plus 9j plus 6k, the vector in which 3 can be taken out. So cancel with the denominator 3 root 14, which gives minus I plus 3j plus 2k by root 14. Take problem number 3. Find the directional derivative of phi x square yz plus 4xz square at the point 1 comma minus 2 comma minus 1 in the direction of 2i minus j minus 2k. So all of you know that to find the directional derivative or dd of a given surface phi, it should be along the direction a vector a. The vector a is given 2i minus j minus 2k. So we can find del phi dot a cap, that is the directional derivative of phi along a. Del phi dot vector a by magnitude of vector a. So we need to first find gradient on phi, that is gradient of phi means del phi. First get the del phi at the given point 1 comma minus 2 comma minus 1, then we can proceed for finding directional derivative of phi along a. Okay, so we can first find gradient. So what is a gradient? As all of you know now, del phi is nothing but dou phi by dou xi plus dou phi by dou yj plus dou phi by dou zk. Differentiate partially with respect to x, y, z. So we can get that dou by dou x of phi x square yz plus 4xz square. So partially differentiating with respect to x, with respect to y, with respect to z, which I get 2xyz plus 4z square. While differentiating partially with respect to x, treat y and z constant. Component of j, derivative of phi with respect to y partially, so treating x and z constant, so I'll get x square z plus 0, x square z j. Component of k, partially differentiate f here phi with respect to z, so x square y plus 4x into 2z, 8xz. So I have 2xyz plus 4z square I plus x square z j plus x square y plus 8xz k. Once the gradient of phi is obtained, del phi is obtained at the point, substitute the point 1 comma minus 2 comma minus 1. So what it gives, the del phi, substitute x as 1, y as minus 2, z as minus 1. We can get del phi is equal to 8i minus j minus 10k. Once it is done, now we go for finding directional derivative of phi along the vector a. So what is the vector a now? Let me denote this as a, vector a, 2i minus j minus 2k. So magnitude of vector a we have to find. So we can then substitute that in the formula. Directional derivative of phi along vector a is del phi dot vector a by magnitude of vector a. So the dot product between two vectors, we know that it is sum of the product of corresponding components, a1 b1 plus a2 b2 plus a3 b3. So I can obtain del phi here, a vector 8i minus j minus 10k, and vector a is 2i minus j minus 2k. That's why the dot product between these two vector is 8 into 2 16 plus minus 1 into minus 1, that is 1, plus minus 10 into minus 2, that is 20. 16 plus 1 plus 20, 37, divided by magnitude of vector a is nothing but square root of sum of the squares of components, square root of 2 square plus 1 square plus 2 square, 4 plus 1 plus 4, that is nothing but 9, square root of 9 is 3. So directional derivative of phi along the given vector a is 37 by 3. This is the problem number 4. Calculate the angle between the normals to the surface xy equal to z square at the point 4, 1, 2 and 3, 3, minus 3. That means we need to find angle between the gradient of the surface. So let me take the surface as f xy minus z square. Find the normals at these 2 points. We can denote it as n1 and n2. Thereby we can find angle between them. So since del f is normal to the surface, f equal to 0, where f is xy minus z square. So I can use the formula of gradient on f, that is del f is equal to dou f by dou xi plus dou f by dou ij plus dou f by dou zk. So partially differentiate f with respect to x. So what it gives? That gives y. Partially differentiate f with respect to y, component of j. So that is nothing but x. Differentiate f partially with respect to z, component of k, that is minus 2z. So I can have yi plus xj minus 2zk is the normal to the surface. So at these 2 points, so let me take normal at 4, 1, 2 is n1. So that is now substituting the point x as 4, y as 1, z as 2, which gives n1 is equal to I plus 4j minus 4k. Similarly, normal at the point 3, 3, minus 3, let me denote it as n2. So at 3, 3 minus 3, now del f gives 3i plus 3j plus 6k. So once we get the normals, we can now find the angle between them by using the formula theta is equal to cos inverse of numerical value of dot product between these two vectors divided by the product of the corresponding magnitudes. So I have n1 dot n2, 1 into 3 plus 4 into 3, 12 plus minus 4 into 6, that is minus 24, divided by magnitude of n1, square root of 1 square plus 4 square plus minus 4 the whole square, 16 plus 16, 32 plus 1, root 33. Similarly, the magnitude of n2 is square root of 54. So this is angle between these two normals, angle between the normals to the surface, which I can simplify further. So that gives 1 by root 22. So cos inverse of 1 by root 22 is angle between the normals to the surface xy equal to z square. So problem number 5. Find the angle between the two surfaces x square plus y square plus z square equal to 9 and z equal to x square plus y square minus 3 at the point 2, minus 1, 2. Here we need to find angle between two surfaces. I can call the surface f and g equal to 0. F equal to 0 and g equal to 0. So angle between two surfaces means angle between their normal. So here also we need to find the normal to the surface f and g, and normal to the surface is nothing but grade. So let f equal to x square plus y square plus z square minus 9 and g equal to, I name this as g is equal to x square plus y square minus z minus 3. Then normal to the surface f equal to 0 and g equal to 0 is nothing but grade. The gradient we can again obtain del f, that is dou f by dou xi plus dou f by dou ij plus dou f by dou zk. For f, the gradient of f is 2xi plus 2ij plus 2zk, and for g, the gradient of g, that is del g, is 2xi plus 2ij minus k. Now at the point 2, minus 1, 2, so at 2, minus 1, 2, the gradient to the surface f is 4i minus 2j plus 4k, and to the surface g, that is grade g at 2, minus 1, 2 at this point, that is x equal to y equal to minus 1, z equal to 2. Substitute over here, will get 4i minus 2j minus k. Once it is obtained, now angle between them we can write angle between these two surfaces I can write, that is angle between these two normals. So that is theta is equal to cos inverse of numerical value of dot product of del f and del g by product of magnitude of del f and magnitude of del g. So the magnitude of del f and magnitude of del g we have to find. So the dot product between these two vectors, that is 4 into 4 16, minus 2 into minus 2 plus 4 plus 4 into minus 1, that is minus 4. So 16 plus 4 minus 4 divided by magnitude of each, that is square root of 4 square plus minus 2 the whole square plus 4 square, that is 16 plus 4 plus 16 into magnitude of this is now square root of 16 plus 4 plus 1, simplifies to 8 by 3 root 21. So that's why angle between two surfaces f and g at the point 2 comma minus 1 comma 2 is cos inverse of 8 by 3 root 21. Problem number 6. Find the constant a and b so that the surface x square minus byz equal to a plus 2 times x will be orthogonal to the surface 4xy plus z equal to 4 at the point 1 comma minus 1 comma 2. So students, here we need to find the unknown, the values of unknown a and b subject to these two surfaces are orthogonal. So as all of you know that two surfaces are orthogonal means normal to them is orthogonal. So we need to find angle between the normal vectors to these two surfaces should be 90 degree. That means they are orthogonal. So the condition is dot product between two normals must be equal to 0. So we first find normal to surface 1, I call it as f, and normal to surface g. So del f and del g, once I get that at the point 1 comma minus 1 comma 2, we can apply the condition, orthogonality condition, that is del f dot del g equal to 0, so that I can get the values of unknowns. So let me now take f equal to ax square minus a plus 2 times x minus byz, and g is 4xy plus z minus 4. So the normal to the given surfaces are, we need to find the grade f as well as grade g. So grade f formula, all of you know that I dou f by dou x plus j dou f by dou y plus k dou f by dou z. I, the component of I is dou f by dou x. Differentiate partially with respect to x, treating y and z constant. So that is 2ax minus a plus 2. Component of j is dou f by dou y. So partially differentiate this with respect to y. So 0, 0 minus bz. So component of j is minus bz. Dou f by dou z will be the component of k. So differentiate f partially with respect to z this time. So 0, 0 minus by. So that del f you got. Similar way we can find the normal to the surface g, that is del g. So I have 4yi plus 4xj, differentiate f partially with respect to y this time, treating z and x constant, so you'll get 4x. So 4xj plus with respect to z, if I differentiate partially, I'll get 1. So that is plus k. So del g is 4yi plus 4xj plus k. Now at the given point 1 comma minus 1 comma 2, so I have to find, substitute x equal to 1, y equal to minus 1, z equal to 2, I'll get del f a minus 2i, just substitute x as 1, y as minus 1, z as 2. So we'll get a constant vector, that is del f is a minus 2i minus 2bj plus bk, and del g is minus 4i plus 4j plus k, substituting the values of x, y, z. So once it is done, now I can apply the orthogonality condition. So we know that two surfaces are orthogonal, implies angle between their normal vectors is 90 degree. So that implies del f dot del g is 0. So del f dot del g, the dot product between these two vectors, that is sum of the product of corresponding components. So I have minus 4 into a minus 2 plus 4 into minus 2b minus 8b plus 1 into b, that is b. So I got minus 4 into a minus 2 minus 8b plus b equal to 0. One equation for two unknowns which is not possible, so I want one more equation in order to solve it for two unknowns a and b. So how I can get one more equation? For that I can use this concept. So anyhow we are finding angle of intersection at 1 comma minus 1 comma 2. That means this point certainly lies on these two surfaces. So I can use that condition, that is 1 comma minus 1 comma 2 lies on the surface, so that I can get one of the unknowns. So I use that 1 comma minus 1 comma 2 lies on the surface f equal to x square minus a plus 2 times x minus byz equal to 0. That means this point on the surface, so I can substitute x as 1, y as minus 1, z as 2, substitute and solve it for b. So what I can do now, if I substitute, that gives a into 1 minus a plus 2 into 1, that is minus of a plus 2 is minus a, minus 2 plus minus b into y into z. Y is minus 1, z is 2, so minus of minus plus b into 1 into 2, that is plus 2b. So I got this a minus 2 plus 2b equal to 0. Correct? Solve it. So we'll get one of the unknown, that is a anyhow gets cancelled. So minus 2 equal to 2b, that implies 2b equal to 2, or 2 gets cancelled, so which gives b equal to 1. So I got, after substituting this point on the surface f, I got b value. So one number I got, so I can substitute that in the equation number 1 which we already got, that is minus 4 times a minus 2 minus 8b plus b equal to 0. So b is 1. So I substitute here. So what it gives, students? So minus 4a minus of minus plus 4 into 2 8 plus 8 minus 8 plus 1, because b is 1. So minus 8 plus 1 minus 8 plus 1, that is minus 7 equal to 0. So that means minus 4a plus 1 equal to 0, or minus 4a plus 1 equal to 0 means a equal to 1 by 4. Is it that correct? So I can get from this a is equal to 1 by 4. So finally I got the values of unknowns. B is 1 and a is 1 by 4. Correct now? So sometimes they can ask this type of question. In case suppose there are only one unknown, then this condition itself is enough to get the value of that unknown. Since there are two unknowns, we have used one more criteria, that is the surface has this point on it. So substituting that, we get the values of unknowns. Now students, problem number 7 here. Prove that. We have to prove grade of f of r, that is del of f of r is nothing but f dash of r by r into capital R, where the capital letter R uppercase is used for vector represent. It denotes vector. So I can represent a vector in two ways, either by bold letter or with an arrow mark. So r is equal to, it is a familiar vector, a position vector xi plus yj plus zk, and letter r, small letter r, indicates the magnitude of vector r, that is square root of x square plus y square plus z square. So these are the universal notation. So we can use that vector r xi plus yj plus zk, and r is nothing but magnitude of vector r. So the proof, I just prove this first. Once the proof is over, so whenever a function of r is given, then its gradient you can immediately find just by using this result. If suppose we have a function of r, then we can get the answer just by differentiating once, then substitute over here f dash of r by r into vector r. So now come to the proof of this result. Now the grade of f of r is nothing but del of f of r, that is I dou f by dou x plus j dou f by dou y plus k dou f by dou z. So we need to now differentiate partially with respect to x, with respect to y, as well as with respect to z. But I can use summation notation, and I can restrict myself one of the partial derivative. Why? Because the function is symmetric. We know that whenever a function is symmetric, I can just take the first order partial derivative dou f by dou x, then later I can just change x to y, y to z in a cyclic manner. So here r is anyhow a symmetric. So square root of x square plus y square plus z square. So what do you mean by symmetric, student? If you replace x to y, y to z, a function of x comma y comma z is nothing but function of y comma z comma x. It is unaffected. Even if you change x to y, y to z, z to x in a cyclic order, the function is unaffected. In such case, we can restrict to one of the partial derivative. Thereby you can write the remaining two more partial derivatives. So what is dou by dou x of f of r then? So partially differentiate with respect to x. The derivative of f of r is f dash of r into inner term r. So dou r by dou x, where r is nothing but square root of x square plus y square plus z square. So partially differentiate with respect to x means treating y and z constant. So which gives a 1 by 2 root x square plus y square plus z square into inner term. Its derivative is 2x. So 2 gets cancelled. X by square root of x square plus y square plus z square is nothing but r. So that's why it is x by r. So I substitute over here. So it gives summation I f dash of r into x by r. Or if I expand this, so we'll have then the component of j and k I f dash of r by r into x. The component of I is f dash of r by r into x. Similarly, the component of j should be f dash of r by r into y. The component of k is f dash of r by r into z. So that means f dash of r by r is throughout common. So you can take it is a common factor. So f dash of r by r into summation xi is nothing but xi plus yj plus zk, which is nothing but vector r. So we got the result, required result. The gradient of f of r is f dash of r by r into vector r. Question number 8. Find gradient of log x square plus y square plus z square and gradient of 1 by r. So this clearly now indicates I can use the previous result because it is a function of r. So grade of f of r can be taken immediately by using the result f dash of r by r into vector r. But if I carefully observe this, though it is a function of xyz, I can say it is nothing but in terms of r I can write, because r is magnitude of vector r, that is square root of x square plus y square plus z square is r. That's why r square is nothing but x square plus y square plus z square. So both I can solve by using the result gradient of f of r is equal to f dash of r by r into vector r. So for the problem number 1, del of log x square plus y square plus z square, as I told, I can write it as log of r square. So log m power n is n log m, so it is 2 log r. So now I can identify f of r first, go for f dash derivative, then substitute here. So what is f of r here? 2 log r. So derivative of this with respect to r, f dash of r, that is 2 into derivative of log r is 1 by r. So substitute, that gives the answer 2 by r into vector r, that is 2 by r square into vector r. Since it is given in terms of x, y, z, so you can substitute back, where vector r is nothing but xi plus yj plus zk and r square is x square plus y square plus z square. Similar way we can find the grade of 1 by r using the result. Once again, f of r here is 1 by r. So what is f dash of r? Derivative of 1 by r is minus 1 by r square. So substitute over here, minus 1 by r square by r. So that gives minus 1 by r cube into vector r. So we can keep as it is because it is a function of r. That's all for the session. I hope you understood the concept gradient. Thank you very much.